Namaste dear children, welcome to English class. Children, generally will find number of poets and authors who will not get much attention during their lifetime. But later, after their death, their works will be recognized and they'll become very popular posthumously. William Blake was also one of such poets. Today, we are going to learn a poem written by William Blake called A Poison Tree. As I have told you, William Blake did not get much attention during his lifetime. He was considered as a mad person. Actually, he was not really mad or he was not crazy. His ideas were different from the ideas of others. His ideas, his views were radical. They were extreme. For this, the people of that time, including the great poet William Wordsworth, considered him a mad. So, this person lived in between 1757 to 1827. He belonged to pre-romantic period. He was called a mystic poet for his ability to see the world of God behind the physical world. So, he was a great painter, children. He was not only a poet. You should observe this. He was a great painter. He was a printer. Then he was an engraver and he was a great visionary. What is the meaning of visionary? So, a person who will have his original ideas about the things that will happen in the future, who can foresee the future, they are considered as visionaries. See, William Blake did not get formal schooling. When he was just 10 years old, he came out of the school and his mother used to teach him. He had interest in painting, drawing, then writing poems and all. So his father appointed a teacher for him. Then when the teacher came to Blake's home, William Blake told his father that this person would be hanged in the future. Father got afraid and he changed the teacher. But this event really happened in the future. That person was hanged as he had signed, as he had forged some important documents. He was hanged by the king. Okay. So in this way, William Blake was a great visionary. Then he was, his famous works are, children, Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience. Another important work is Milton. You can find here. It is Milton, and there is a famous poem written by William Blake called Jerusalem. So this Jerusalem is taken from this his collection of poems, that is Milton, and this poem is considered as the unofficial national anthem of England, and till today the people of England recite this poem with a proud feeling. Okay, so today we are going to learn the poem Poison Tree, a poison tree. So usually, generally when we read the poem, when we observe the words used by William Blake, we feel that he wrote poems, he wrote the things for entertaining the children. But in reality, it is not like that. His poems are very philosophical. They have got very deep meaning. You will understand it when we go through the poem A Poison Tree. Okay. The scholars, they consider this poison tree, a poison tree poem, as a deceptively simple poem. Observe, children, scholars call A Poison Tree as a deceptively simple poem. That means what? Cunningly simple. Deceptively means cunningly. Cunningly simple means complicated. Use of the figure of speech oxymoron. So, let us learn this poem. Before starting the poem A Poison Tree, I'll give you the theme of the poem. Here, the poet explains us What are the consequences of hiding the anger? What are the consequences of not expressing our anger? What are the results of suppressing the anger in ourselves? So let us know the poem Poison Tree. Children, open your textbook, have a pencil in your hand. First, I'll read out the poem for you. Later, we'll analyze the poem stanza by stanza. So this poem has got only 4 stanzas. Every stanza has got only 4 lines. So open your textbook. And one more thing, children, this poem is for memorization. Very easy to remember. I hope you'll do that. Yes, open your textbook. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning, glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. So now let us understand the poem stanza by stanza. Yes. So here a poison tree by William Blake. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. See, I have underlined the difficult words here. First one is wrath. Okay. Then second one is foe. So here wrath means extreme anger. What is the meaning of wrath? Wrath means extreme anger, and here foe. Okay. What is the meaning of foe, children? Foe means enemy. So here in the first paragraph, in the first stanza, the poet is explaining 2 situations, 2 scenarios. So he says that this speaker, he was angry with 2 people. First one is he was angry with his friend, and as he was his friend, he told his wrath. He told the reason for why was he angry to his friend, and when he told it to his friend, what happened to his anger? It came to an end. But later in the second situation, our speaker was angry with his foe. Here foe means what, children? He was angry with his enemy. So he did not tell about his anger to his enemy. He suppressed his anger. And what happened to his anger? What happened to his wrath, children? It grew. Okay. So in your 9th standard, you have learnt a beautiful lesson written by Srimati Vijayalakshmi Pandit. No one can harm you except yourself was the theme of that lesson. No, the name of the lesson, children, it was the best advice I ever had, right? No one can harm you except yourself. So you have seen, if we tell our anger, if we tell our inconvenience to others, we can get it solved there itself. But if we do not tell it, then what happens? It grows in ourselves, and it takes our peace of mind. The same thing happened here. So in the first stanza, 2 scenarios are explained. In the first situation, the speaker was angry with his friend, then he told about his anger to his friend. What happened to the wrath? Wrath did end. Wrath came to an end. But in the second case, he was angry with his foe. He was angry with his enemy and he did not tell it to his enemy, and that is why it did grow. It grew. Okay. Now let us understand the second stanza. So here, and I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears, and I sunned it with smiles and with soft deceitful wiles. So here in this stanza, I have underlined I sunned, okay, sunned, then deceitful, then wiles. What is the meaning of sunned? Sunned means giving light and heat, okay, nutrition. Then second one, deceitful. Deceitful means, children, cunning, dishonest, okay. Then wiles means what, children? Tricks, okay. See here, and I watered it in fears. See, the name of the poem is A Poison Tree. See, here in the first stanza, the speaker is speaking about what? The wrath or the anger, alva. So here, when he did not tell, it grew, alva. So here, my wrath did grow. You can find this grow here. In the second paragraph, the poet, the speaker is using what? The figure of speech metaphor here. So here wrath grew in him. So wrath, that wrath is given the picture. It is given the picture of a tree here. Okay. It is compared to, it is directly compared to a poison tree. You can find the use of metaphor throughout this poem. So I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. See, the seed of the tree, his anger, it started to grow, no? So now the anger is in the stage of a seed. So this speaker, he watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. So he was afraid. He had not got the courage to tell about his anger to his enemy. He might be worried about the consequences. He might be worried about the results. What would happen if he expresses his anger, his difference of opinion to his friend, to his enemy? What would happen? About that he might be anxious. He did not have courage to tell it to his foe. That is why he watered, means he gave water to that seed, the seed of anger. Now it is growing inside the speaker, no? So he watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. See, he has suppressed the anger in himself. He did not tell it, he did not express it. So that is why that anger which is there inside him, it has taken his peace of mind. He is suffering day and night. So when we are angry about others, no, we will have some inconvenience in our heart. Until we clean our heart, we will not have peace of mind. The same thing is happening with this speaker. So he is telling that, and I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. Then he is continuing, and I sunned it with smiles and with soft deceitful wiles. So he did not express the anger, but every day he had to meet his foe, but he could not express his anger. That is why when he met his foe, enemy, no, he used to smile at him. Okay, he was pretending as if there is nothing, okay, as if he was not at all angry with him. So he pretended, he smiled at him. So he gave a smile to him. So, and I sunned it with smiles. See, I sunned it with smiles. He gave what? He nurtured that anger, and with soft deceitful wiles. Deceitful means, children, cunning, dishonest, and wiles means what, children? Tricks. Means he was planning something for revenge. Okay, he wanted to take revenge because he was angry with his enemy. No, he wanted to take revenge, and that is why he was planning some deceitful tricks, cunning tricks. He was planning something. Something was going in his mind, but he did not express it at all. When he met his foe there, enemy there, he gave smile to him. So the seed of anger, now it is growing inside the speaker. He watered it with fears, and he watered it with his tears. He was afraid of telling. He was not courageous enough to express his anger. So he watered. He was suffering, no, inside. That is why day and night he watered it with tears. And even when he met his foe there, he pretended as if there is nothing like anger. Okay. So this is about the second paragraph. Now, which figure of speech is used, children? This anger, it is given the picture of a small seed, and now it is growing. It is growing as a sapling. Now it will become a plant, and later it will become a big tree. So now let us move on for the third stanza. Yes, see here. And it grew both day and night till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. So here I have underlined bore, then I have underlined an apple, then beheld. See, here bore means what, children? It is your past tense and past participle. V2 and V3 form of the term bear. Okay, bear means to carry, to yield, to give. Okay, then beheld means what, children? Saw, observed. Okay, beheld, behold, see, beheld, saw. So here the poet is telling, and it grew both day and night. The speaker did not express his anger at all. Now the anger is growing. It grew day and night because the speaker has watered it with tears, and he has sunned it. Means he had given the light and heat which is needed for the growth of tree, through his smiles, right? So behind that smiles, he was planning some wiles, deceitful wiles. So because of all this nourishment, the seed, now it is growing. So it grew. It grew both day and night. Here it. Okay, observe this pronoun. It here. Till it bore an apple bright. So in these two cases, here it means what, children? The tree. Okay. So, and that tree, the tree of anger, grew both day and night till that tree bore an apple bright. Okay. See, bearing an apple, bearing some fruit. So in English, to say about the success, we say that his efforts bore the fruits, right? That means what? Finally, he got success. So here, our speaker, he wanted to take the revenge. That is why he was nourishing his anger with water, with light and all, no? So that tree here, in these two lines of this stanza, the pronoun it, okay, it refers to the tree. So it grew both day and night till it bore an apple bright. What type of apple was that? That apple was some kind of poisonous apple, because the tree itself was poisonous. No, it was the anger of what, children? It was a tree of what, children? It was a tree of anger. That is why that tree could yield only a bitter or some poisonous thing, no? So here an apple, till it bore an apple bright. Here you can assume this apple, okay, as the apple of the forbidden tree in the garden of Eve and Adam. You might have heard about the story of Adam and Eve, no? Once God created a beautiful garden, children. It was called the Garden of Eden. It was very beautiful, and in that he created two people. Adam was the man and Eve was the lady. God told Adam that they could use anything in that garden. They could live very happily, but only he forbid one thing. He forbid one thing. He told Adam and Eve not to eat an apple, a fruit from the tree of knowledge. Okay, he told that this this tree is a forbidden tree. You should not eat the fruit of this tree. So what happened? This lady Eve, they lived there for many years very happily. But every day they were curious about that one. So what would happen if we eat that? So one day the lady, that Eve was there, no? She could not control her enthusiasm, curiosity. She finally ate that fruit, apple. Then Adam also ate that, and they were expelled from that garden. Okay, so it is a famous book written by Milton, that is your Paradise Lost. So here you can consider this apple. So here apple, it is a poisonous fruit, no? It is a fruit which was grown in the tree of poison, right? So here that tree, the tree of a poison, it means it reached its extreme point, and the revenge, okay, the revenge of the speaker, it has become now the worst thing. Then what happened? And my foe beheld it shine, okay, and he knew that it was mine. See here the pronouns. Observe these two pronouns here. Here in this stanza, third line it and fourth line it. So here it refers to what? So the pronoun it refers to the apple. So the foe, the enemy, beheld it shine. He saw that shining apple and he knew that it was mine. So he knew that that apple belonged to the speaker. Okay, so now in the third stanza you can see that the seed, the anger which was in the form of seed, now it has grown to a big tree, and it is a poisonous tree, and it has bore an apple, poisonous fruit. It has given, it is carrying a poisonous fruit there, and that fruit, it seems very bright, it seems very much shining. Now our foe, he has seen that apple and he knows that it belongs to the speaker. But this foe has got the feeling of jealousy. Okay, he's jealous about the speaker. At any cost, he wanted to get that apple. ಆ ಆಪಲ್ ತನಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಆಸೆ ಯಾರಿಗಾಗಿದೆ? ನಮ್ಮ ಫೋಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. So in this third stanza we have understood this much. See, you can take it in another form. Now, and my foe beheld it shine. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಫೋನಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತುಂಟು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಏನಿದಾನಲ್ಲ, ಇವನು ಎನಿಮಿ, ತನ್ನ ಎನಿಮಿ, ಇವನ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಏನೋ ಕೆಟ್ಟದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಫ್ರೆಂಡಿಗೂ, ಫೋಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಎನಿಮಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೇಗೋ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಫೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಆಸೆ ಅವನ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಅವನು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ ಫೈಟಿಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಬಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋ in that much depth. Okay, so let us now come for the fourth stanza, children. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning, glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. So here I have underlined the term veiled and another term outstretched. So here veiled means, children, veiled means covered, hidden. Okay. Outstretched means lying dead or lying on the ground, with hands and legs stretched. Okay. Then, yes. So, and into my garden stole. So, what is the meaning of garden here? So, again, you can find the use of metaphor here. Garden means the mind of the poet. Now, the mind of the speaker. Where has the poison tree grown? The poison tree has grown in the mind of the speaker. No, it is the tree of anger, right? So, the mind of the speaker is compared to what, children? Garden. See, the foe in the morning, and into my garden stole. So, stealthily, ಕದ್ದಾಗಿ ರಾತ್ರೆ, into my garden stole when the night had veiled the pole. Okay, so when the night has become too dark, okay, so when the night had covered the pole, here you can, pole means what? Kamba alva. You can consider this poison tree as the pole here. When the night, deep dark night had covered, okay, the pole there, the apple tree there, the poisonous tree there, during that time, our foe entered the garden because he wanted to take that apple. He was very much attracted by that bright apple, no? But it was belonging to whom? It belonged to his enemy, right? Our speaker was the enemy of that person, right? So he could not ask it. ತನ್ನ ಕೊಡು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ he is the enemy, ಹೌದಾ? So, but at any cost he wanted that. That is why what did he do? He entered the garden stealthily when it was night and he took it, he consumed it. Then next morning what happened? When our speaker went into his garden, he saw that his enemy was lying outstretched. Okay, his enemy, either he was dead, you can consider he was dead, or he was poisoned because of that poisonous fruit. So finally, the anger of the speaker, it destroyed, alva? It put an end to the life of that person. So his enemy had died or he was poisoned. So what about this anger? Is it good? Should we allow the anger to grow in ourselves? So is it right to allow the anger to grow, or is it wrong? About that we have to think. See, the speaker, you can find here in the last stanza, in the morning glad I see. The speaker is saying that I was glad to see the foe. I was glad to see my foe dead there. So was he really glad, children? So he cannot be glad. So he might have killed his enemy there. He might have taken the revenge. But will there be peace of mind? No, right? So he has killed the good person which he was before. He has killed what? The very quality of humanism. He has killed the very spirit of human beings. The goodness had came to an end in the mind and in the heart of the speaker. So always it is not good. The anger, it will not only destroy our enemy, but it will destroy ourselves, right? So the good person in the speaker has died with his enemy there. So always it is wrong. It is not right to allow the anger to grow in ourselves. So here we can find the very idea of William Blake in very simple words, in very simple poem of 4 stanzas. He is giving a very deep philosophical idea. He is making us to understand why is it very much bad to allow anger to grow in ourselves. Children, go through the poem once again. Try to understand it in your own way. Thank you very much.